Hi, this is Hope Kaya of SantaFeWebDesign.net and ReadSouthwest.com. And this is Dead on the Web, Resurrect, your book site. Most book websites are dead on the web because they weren't made in a way that takes into consideration what their potential readers are already searching for in Google and integrating that into the website and different places in a way that can really help you. So I made up a book called Ancient Love and an author named Sweet Light. And Sweet Light is a Santa Fe author, and I figure Santa Fe authors get to have names like Sweet Light. And she wrote a book called Ancient Love, and it's a period romance novel. And Sweet Light has self-published this book using a print-on-demand service. It's her first book. She poured her heart into it and has her books in her garage ready to ship to buyers. She knows this book should sell because it's a really good book and it would make people really happy if they could only find the book. So her brother, whose name is Nightlight, helped her by building a website for her. And they agreed that if people could click to read a chapter of the book, that would pretty much do the trick, because all they have to do is read an excerpt and they will want the book and buy the book. So they built a website. The web address is ancientlovebysweetlight.com. And they figured if they built it, people would come. And this, I guess, is the biggest illusion about websites that is out there. I mean, most of us have learned this lesson the hard way, that if we build it, they will not necessarily come. And this is a lesson that Sweet Light has been learning. And so she realizes she has to do something more to attract people to her website, and decides to think about what kind of web marketing to actually do. But this is very uncomfortable for her because she actually hates marketing and doesn't really relate to the web and would like to just be writing. And for Christ's sake, she's just a novelist. So she gets very tired very quickly thinking about web marketing and takes a nap and starts to dream. And along comes Google in his true form as the Cupid of the internet. And he shares with her how many people are searching a day for any given thing. And he whispers a question into her ear and puts a bookmark in her brain to a URL that he gives her. And Sweet Light wakes up really excited with the question he gives her burning in her mind. What are your readers searching for? And she rushes to the computer and she types in the address he gave her, adwords.google.com/select/keyword tool external. Totally excited to find out what her readers are searching for. And when she gets there, she's happy to see she doesn't need to have a Google account or an AdWords account. She can just use this free tool to find out what people are searching for. And she puts her idea in there, and that's what you do. Her idea is period romance. She figures that's what people are looking for, and it's true. 1,300 people a month are searching for period romance. But Google gives her another idea. Historical romance. Now Google understands synonyms, and so even though she only put in there period romance, Google knows that a synonym would be historical romance. So 27,000 people a month are searching for historical romance. Much better. Even it means the same thing, but much better, and much better to use this phrase on the website, which they do. So they put historical romance in the banner, they put it on the home page, and they wait to see what happens. And a couple people do come and they read the excerpt, and maybe they sell one book, but honestly it's pretty discouraging. I mean, Sweet Light is beginning to wonder if she'll ever recover the cost of printing the books, much less any of the time and blood, sweat, and tears she put into writing the book. And she's feeling now like there really isn't any hope. And she gets really tired and falls asleep and has another dream in which along comes Google, the Cupid of the internet again. And he whispers in her ear another URL. And Sweet Light awakens and rushes to her computer and types this address into her browser and finds that she's looking at the contact information for a web marketing guru who gives her some steps to improve her ranking and traffic and sales and the buzz about her book. And she starts to implement these. She and her brother Nightlight change the website. First thing they do is they get rid of the font they were using, which is cute. It was called Olive Oil, but it isn't a font that everybody in the world owns. And unfortunately, when it comes to websites, you want to use a font everybody owns. Because if you don't, then you'll have to turn your fonts into graphics, which search engines can't read. And it's critical for search engines to read your text so that you can be noticed for what you're writing about. So they now use Times and Arial. And they've got a testimonial on the homepage instead of the welcome message and any of the information about her process as a writer, which now will go into the About section and into the blog. But starting with the testimonial, they asked a friend who loved the book if they would write a testimonial that included the phrase historical romance, if that resonated with him, and it did, and they're using it on the homepage. And they have a new blog called the Historical Romance blog. Now this is brilliant because the phrase historical romance is now a link on every single page of their website, and it's linking to a section of the website that is optimized for that phrase, historical romance, because the name of the blog is that phrase. So search engines love it when links include phrases that people are already searching for that link to pages that are optimized for those phrases. So this is great. And they created a sign-up form for their email list, offering to give people the first chapter of the book for free if they join their mailing list. And these days, it's hard to get people to join your mailing list. I mean, we all get way too much email. And if you want me to join your mailing list, it's good to give me something free. And that way I'll get what you're giving me and I'll see the value of it, and it'll make me feel confident that I've joined a good mailing list. So this is brilliant too. Now, Sweet Light has friends on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Yep, 500 million people are on Facebook now, or more than that. And, you know, she realized she has to bite the bullet and join these venues, even though she really doesn't like it. But she does it, and she starts to freak out because who wants to be going to all these venues to update and stay in touch? And if she really just wants to be a writer and she's not interested in marketing. But her web guru points out that if she could just get into blogging, it could be set up on her website so that every time she writes a new post, it automatically feeds to Facebook and Twitter and possibly LinkedIn and other venues as well. And she realizes that blogging is okay. She can do that because she wants to share about her process, and she wants to share her events, and she wants to answer questions. So she goes ahead and puts the icons for LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter on her website. Now people can see her LinkedIn profile, they can friend her on Facebook, and they can follow her on Twitter. And she starts blogging. Now, the one step that I have found for my clients to be how they can stay on page 1 of Google once they get there is blogging. And the easiest way I've found for people to blog is to do a question and answer, because most people are already answering questions of their fans or their clients. And if you just start writing down what those questions and answers are, you can use them for your blog. And blogging is something that you can do easily without having a webmaster. And you're growing your site every time you add a post to your blog. Search engines love content. And if you can write relevantly for your subject and your keywords, then it's extremely good for search engines. Not only that in terms of content, but in addition in terms of pings. Every time you post something, search engines are pinged. And it's kind of like a little jolt to their system that makes them notice you, and you actually gain value because you're not a static, it's not a static website. It's an alive site. So she puts her first question, how did you come up with the idea for this historical romance? Now people are asking her this, and they may not be using the term historical romance, and she takes a little liberty with that, but it's the same question, right? So you could put keywords in there, and then she answers the question and goes on from there and grows the site. And she's feeding Facebook and Twitter at least every time she does her post. Twitter feed is the easiest way to do that. So her brother, Nightlight, does this cool thing of putting a plug-in on her website that adds a like button to every post, so that every time somebody likes a post, they can click that button and it shows up in their newsfeed on Facebook so that their friends can see that they have liked the post. And then this is extremely viral, extremely easy, and extremely helpful. And you know, she has her email list where she's offering a free excerpt if you join, and people are joining because she's offering something. And now, whenever she's interviewed or gives a book signing or gets some media attention, she blogs about it. She sends a newsletter announcement to her subscribers and sends a press release if that's appropriate for this particular thing. So all these things together attract new readers, and they make her fans feel involved. Now, once you sell a book, it's really easy to kind of think, okay, that's it, unless the person wants to be in touch with me. I've sold the book, I need to move on. But in truth, you really want to cultivate this relationship, because if somebody buys and loves your book, they would enjoy being part of your success, and they would enjoy knowing what you're doing and what's being written about you. They would feel good about their choice for reading your book as they hear about media attention or interviews or book signings, right? So you want to give them that opportunity to be part of your growth and keep the buzz going about your work. So Google is impressed. Her ranking is growing, and there is one more step that Sweetlight learns about that really does the trick. Now, if you can recall, her domain name is ancientlovebysweetlight.com, which is perfectly good for her book. And it's on her book cover, it's on her business cards, it's on her brochures, it's in her ads if she has ads. But nobody's searching for Ancient Love by Sweetlight yet. It's not a famous book, and she's not a famous author. So she learns that the most powerful place to have a keyword is in the domain name. And she goes to GoDaddy.com and sees what's available and finds out that historicalromancebook.com is available, which it was as of yesterday. Today's October 2nd, 2010. So she buys it and shifts things around. Her brother, Nightlight, takes care of this for her, shifts things around so that the root level of her domain is historicalromancebook.com, and ancientlovebysweetlight.com points to it. So it still works. The old domain still works. She can still use it in all her marketing, but the root level domain that's getting the biggest punch for search engines is the one with the keywords. And now she's really in clover. Sweetlight is happy. The book is happy, Google's happy, the readers are happy. They're all basically happily ever after because the book is selling and the site is working. So if you would like to learn more about how to do this for yourself, I've got free tutorials on santafewebdesign.net. You can go to the free tutorials tab on my website, and you can click through any of these YouTube videos to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/keywordhope. And you'll see a ton of videos, many of which are about Joomla, which is my preferred platform for developing websites, so that the user can basically drive it away, the owner can drive it away and update it herself or himself. I am doing a talk coming up October 19th, 2010 at First Score. It's a 2.5-hour talk which will cover many of the options for web marketing, and you can decide which ones you resonate with. I hope you can attend. We may be able to get a copy of it online. If you want to register, you can go to santafescore.org and actually download a PDF which will give you instructions. So thank you very much. I hope that this helps you, and I would love to hear if it does, particularly if you could go to my YouTube site and leave a comment. That would be wonderful. Enjoy your web marketing and take care.